Hi, and welcome to show number 8, the shock of time travel. Time is a very interesting phenomena if you start to look at it from different angles. We can and do of course measure time with devices, but it becomes really interesting when you look at how we as individuals move through time. Time can speed up or slow down for us, and we really do get into the feeling that it has done this. For certain, you have at some point in your life become totally engrossed in a very pleasurable experience. When you come to the end of this, you experience the shock that you find, say, 2 hours have slipped by completely unnoticed. Now try to stand in the same spot and do nothing for 10 minutes, and those 10 minutes will feel like an age to you. You could say, then, without mechanical devices, time will be somewhat relative to the state of mind you are currently occupying. If we take ourselves into different states, we'll experience a different perspective of time. All very interesting and certainly worthy of more thought. But we want a practical application of this phenomena. You'll recall from the last show that I said I would step into this process with you. So let's start off with some simple time travel exercises. Now of course we have a time restriction on this video, so please do practice this as often as you're able to after this video finishes. Okay, so close your eyes now and really get comfortable. Just for a moment, imagine a horizontal line in your mind's eye that goes off to the left and to the right, and just disappears into the blackness either side. Give the part of the line that you can see a colour maybe of your choice. Make it more real. And then imagine that you can simply glide left or right along that line. We'll assume that the left is past events and the right future events. What I want you to do now is to start to glide left along the time until you come to a memory of a really happy time. When you reach this memory, step into it and make it real to your senses. Bring it out in full colour. Bring in sounds that you heard at the time. Maybe there were other people around. Whatever event you choose, just remember the reality of its realness. I want you to do this with 5 different memories. As you do this, you'll start to realise that often the memories are not in sequential time. So as you move down the timeline, you will find that the memories will alternate in time from being that of a long time, near time, and then maybe back to long time again, and various stages in between. This is exactly as it should be, because this is the way that we remember things. We link them to other things. When you've practiced this a while, select one special memory and go to that time. Step into that memory in every detail you can bring to it. The more reality you give to this, the better. Bring every ounce of emotion into the memory that is possible. Stay in that memory that we shall now call a state. When you're totally in that state, quickly open your eyes to bring you instantly back to the here and now. If you do this correctly, you'll experience a mild shock as you return to the here and now, and suddenly you become aware of your immediate surroundings. Now if you think you can't reach this required state of realness and the shock, then you're just not being honest with yourself, which is in fact the worst type of dishonesty there is. After all, who has not become so engrossed in a film so as to not hear or see anything else around them, and then suddenly be jarred back to the here and now by someone physically trying to get your attention away from the film? All you are learning in this exercise is to do this at will, rather than relying on the television to do this for you. You are going to take charge of the process. You are going to design your perfect future and then be automatically taken into that future. Okay, I am assuming you'll practice this to perfection, so we can now move on to using this to attain what you decided on in show number 5. Again, close your eyes in a comfortable position. The very best time to do this, by the way, is at night when you're going to bed. Pull up in your imagination the state that you want, and just like you did in the last exercise, give it all the tones of reality. You must make this just as real, just as clear, just as powerful as the memory state you recalled. Time spent on this now will be so richly rewarded later on. you'll be truly amazed at the astounding abilities you possess to produce solid reality using nothing more than the totus unus principle. Okay, you're now stepping into the imaginary state where you'll have already obtained that which you want. You're making this so real, so true, and so effective that when you pop your eyes open, you again experience the mild shock of being where you currently are. It is vitally important that you do develop this shock factor, but please keep in mind that a shock for one person might be slightly belly wobbles or butterflies feeling for another. The main thing is that you detect this shock factor in whatever form it comes as a physical feeling. As a verbal summary so far, for me, let me say this. If you have to think about being successful, then you are not successful. As long as you're thinking about becoming something, then you are not that something now. To be successful is to simply exist in that state, nothing more, nothing less. The totus unus principle will give you the ability to exist in any state you desire. Once in that state, you will only be able to think and act from that state. It is my solid belief and firm commitment that people do not want or need new ways to think or act based upon another person's way of thinking or acting. If someone wants to be a millionaire, then that person needs to exist in that state now. By doing this, everything you do, every act will be influenced automatically by the current state. A top-selling author thinks and acts from his state. So does the baker of bread. They are just states. Nothing more complicated than that. All that is needed is a workable and provable method to design any state that you want to exist in and then enter into that state. The rest will automatically take care of itself. The totus unus principle is that method, and you already own it. Well, here we are again at the end of another show, and looking forward to the next one titled Faith Works. So until then, take care of you and yours, and always remember to live a little of your dreams every day.